Choices made by individuals or the circumstances they encountered led to committing a crime and landed them in the criminal justice system. The Ministry of Justice places great value on the impact of the personal experiences of inmates and former inmates. These are their stories. What was your environment like growing up?
Yeah, I have a good family, so most of the things I did was on myself, so my household was good, so can't blame them.
Well, unfortunately, me, I had it a bit more difficult because before it was just my mom, stuff that I wasn't really doing anything to support, so I had it kind of difficult.
Did you have a good bond with your stepdad?
No. It was always a fight between us because me and my little brother were not his kids, so it was always a split between us. So whatever he has, we can't have. We was forced to get it on our own.
Was there food on the table every day?
There was food for him. Seriously, no, it's not a joke. There was food. So sometimes we would eat, sometimes we would not. It depends on the mood he's in, if he's drunk or if he's not. That depends on how we eat. Things like that would force you at a young age to go and get it.
What do you think influenced you to commit a crime?
Well, I can't say it's people like, at the time, certain things did happen at the time that I was growing up, and I wasn't thinking like the positive way, I was thinking negative all the time. So at the time when the crime had happened to my cousin, I was only thinking about getting back. So that would mostly lead me to go in prison. So it wasn't like I was wanted to go or I had it planned for me to go there, but nah. So it was like, how you say? How you say? I wasn't destined to go there, but I just do what I had to do at the moment of time, and I end up going there.
Did you have a bad influence?
Not really a bad influence. I ain't had nobody telling me to do anything. I was really doing it out of my own proportion. So I can't blame nobody for the mistakes I make.
Did your cousin influence you to commit this crime?
At the time my cousin got shot and died. So only one thing had come to my mind is to get back. You shot my cousin, I'm gonna shot you back. So that's how it was back in the days growing up. So it wasn't like he or she or someone pushed me to do or commit a crime. It was all me. So yeah.
It was practically being a part of my environment. The same financial situation that I explained. And like Mr. Gum said, it was falling on top of me as well. Because even though we had know how to say yes or no, sometimes, greed had a role to play in it as well.
The circumstances.
You might go do things and then you start to save the money and then it comes fast, but it goes fast as well. So you start to get into it, and the faster it comes, the faster it's going, the more you keep doing it until
the more you want.
That day you get caught up, and that was it.
Did you have other options at the time to get work?
I searched for work, yes, but to no avail. Nothing came up. I got one job and it never really lasted long because it's either something happened with the company, they leave,
closed down.
So it was never really my fault that I had plans to leave the job, but they had to do what they had to do, so it left me to do what I had to do.
That's right.
Because if 1 month I couldn't pay the bills and then the next month I can't, that can be like, it shifts your energy, even though you try to maybe focus on going on the right track, then it makes you relapse because now you think, okay, how the next way they're going.
Looking back now, do you believe you had other options?
With the mentality I have now, yeah, they had a few options, but I mean, if you don't have the intelligence that you have today, back then you would have never seen it.
Ain't had no other option because it was just at the time it was like, wow, Afghanistan. So it was like people were like mostly checking like, what you guys gonna do? What we gonna do if you don't get back? This and that. Ain't had nobody there like, it's an accident, leave it alone, and then you know. So it's like can't say we had any other options at the time. So we just went ahead with it and get it done with. And it made us end up in prison for a very long time. So
If it happened right now, what would your reaction be?
if it happened right now, I will walk away because I got more to lose right now than before. Before, I wasn't in the position that I'm in now. Before that, I was training and stuff for like baseball activities. I wasn't like picked yet to go scouting. So like now I have my business. I just do little walks and get jobs from government and things. I'm in a position to fend for myself. Back then I wasn't in a position to do anything. You understand? So now that I look back, I like, wow, it's a big change for me.
At what age were you incarcerated?
Well, I got arrested at the age 17. I was getting close to my body to turn 18. So at the moment when I got arrested, they had to keep me downtown till I make 18 years old so they could send me a point blank. Cause at the time I got convicted for a serious crime and I couldn't go home. So they wait till I turn 18, so they keep me convicted at the police station until my 18 body. And after my 18 body is when I start to really see, yeah, you playing a man, now you can get a man. So after my 18 body, I start to go court cases and trials and everything. And at the beginning, I thought it was a joke, it all was a game. I want to walk away scot-free and everything. Then after a while, they start calling some outrageous numbers for me at the age of 18. And I like, wow. The first time I went to court, they called 25 years for me. I check in, what, 25 years? Out of 25 years, you got to be like 15, 16 years out of that. And then my lawyer checking like, no, we gonna fight. Went back, they called 21. That was the sentence they gave me, 21 years out of the 25. So I had to go back, keep going courts, fighting for them to drop it down at least to 14, 15 years. Then out of the 14, 15 years, I know, well, I want to do at least 10 to 9 years. So we keep fighting, they drop it down to 15 years. My lawyer turned around and he said, we gotta go Harlem Court, so that's the highest court that they have besides 𝐔𝐍𝐒, besides this court here. So we went, and my lawyer in Harlem fight. I never met him or anything, but he fight for me and he checking like, you have a lot of witnesses and a lot of evidence and stuff around you, so he didn't think I can go home right now, but the most he could do for me is break it down, get it to come into 14 years, because at the time I got arrested, I was a minor, and they locked me up at the age 17 when they didn't have to, and a lot of wrong things that happened, so they dropped it to 14. Then I did 10 years and a couple months. So I did 10 flat, and the rest months I did an HVB, but it was hectic. So.
Did you know the Point Blanche Prison and House of Detention currently has a population of 80 inmates? Inmates sent to HVB usually serve long sentences for the crimes committed. 47 of these inmates are below the age of 30. Did you think that you would go to prison after committing the crime?
I thought I would get away scot-free. That's what I thought, so. I didn't thought that it would end up on me getting a heavy punishment like that.
The first time I got arrested, I was 15, and basically just held me for questioning, and then I got released from there. I went to prison when I was 21. Just made 21 years old. So I did, the time they called for me was 26 years. And through the time I stayed in the police station, they gave me 20 years. No, they gave me 20 years, and then through the time I stayed in the police station, it dropped to 19 because I stayed there long overdue. I was in there for 3 months before they sent me to the prison. And out of all of that, I did 11 years and 4 months. You wasn't thinking on consequences, you were just speeding.
You thinking about?
You're just thinking about.
Do this here, you get away.
You get away.
Do that over there, you get away. But you wasn't expecting to like a roadblock.
Nah. It's after the first 3 years. I'm serious. After the first 3 years when you realize, like, listen, this ain't a game no more.
Yeah.
You're going to stay here for the next 10 years, partner.
12 years.
Wow.
It's rough, you know. Wow.
I had to do 12 years and 6 months, but I'm out on good behavior. So that's why I did 11 and 4 months. But you wasn't thinking on the consequences until they put you to rest. Reality under arrest. That was really mean of under arrest because you were literally rested.
When reality hit
you really have time to think.
When reality hit you is when the door slam, bam, they lock
5 o'clock.
They lock the gate and you checking, boy, I gotta go home with you. They checking, go home. This your home for now. Boy, that one rough. It's rough, huh?
Yeah.
The worst thing is in the morning and the baddest thing is in the evening. When they come in to open, you're hearing the keys. When they come in to close, you're hearing the keys. They open you up, you hear a whistle. Weed.
Right now,
They close in, you hear weed.
If my back is turned and somebody passes me with keys, I turn around.
I'm telling you. I try not to drive cars and things on the road when the police got roadblocks and those kind of things, checking vehicles and things. You know they got a whistle, weed, that's it. And they'll be like, yo, it's time for lunch or recess or something, you know?
Were you counting the days?
No, don't do that. Please, I beg you, don't do it. Don't do it.
In the beginning,
don't you never ask for a calendar.
Don't.
Especially when you get 15, 16 years, don't ask for a calendar. And don't even try to make one on the wall, yeah? You'll have like 200-300 of them just on the wall.
I had an inmate that was in my cell, and in his last few days, like few months to go home, he made a new calendar every day. And that used to eat me out. Dude, you're going home in the next 3 months, stop now. Yeah, but this date and this. Okay, Oz, stop it.
And then you
and I still have a couple of years to go.
Like, it's 365 days a year, right? So, if I have 12 years, you know how much 365 that is? And he got like, okay, maybe a year. Out of the year, he only doing 5-6 months. He got calendar, and out of them 6 months, he's scratching out.
And you gotta wake up and see that.
Come on, every day I get enough to you scratching out to 3 months.
That is why you can't really live with someone who doing small time.
That's why when the big timers get convicted, they separate us. They put all timers over 12 and 13 years
in
together, and the 6 and 7 months over there, cause they will irritate you every day. You got 14, he got 6. You ain't crying so much, but he bawling more than you.
And you hearing that now, maybe your mind set done shift to something else, but hearing he bawling make you start to think now like, I got more time to go in. And that, it is irritating.
Yeah.
It really irritating.
What was your life like prior to your incarceration?
Well, I had, majority of my friends was sports players. We play baseball, basketball. We do things like normal, civilized children until circumstances happen. Right. We changed to people that we didn't even know we could talk to.
Were you part of the gang?
Yeah, I was part of the gang. I can't say no, then I would be lying. So at the time I was part of the gang, I was still playing baseball, so we were like two of them now. So the baseball like was a camouflage for the police to leave me alone. So yeah, serious. So after the gang wars and things get more serious, I just dropped baseball totally. And I started to pick up guns, machetes, knives, anything that could hurt people, I start rolling with. And anytime I would get in a problem with somebody, the first thing that come to my mind, I hurt them with anything I have in my hand. I could have a gun, a knife, a machete or something. Best believe it, I will touch you with it. But right now, you could tell me, my mother this, my mother that, you could touch me and all, I'm gonna walk away from you because why I have to lose today and you have is totally two different things.
You came from a good family. Why did you choose that lifestyle?
Well, at the moment of the time, it's like you had two sets of friends now. You had the ones that would just don't want to do nothing. They would go, come from school, the first thing we do, change the clothes, don't even do the homework, the block, roll up a joint, smoke, you know, maybe look to thief something, do something wrong. And then you have the ones them that I have a future, but maybe I want to become a baseball player, NBA star, football star, or something, you know? But it always ends up that you always pick the wrong side because it's more like adventure. No? You're going places, you're doing things. Baseball field, just going from home to the baseball field, home to the baseball field. You gotta wait till vacation time come for you to go on a trip with a baseball team and those things. Every day you're going on a trip with your gang. Even if it's Dutch Quarter, Soccer Garden, you know we don't live there. So it's like going there is like a little trip for us. Ride a bicycle, go Soccer Garden, St. Peter's, Mela Region, Dutch Quarter. So you're tripping and you don't really worrying with nothing until something really happens.
Was there any peer pressure you experienced?
At the time you're young, you're having fun. You don't have nothing to pressure you. You don't have nothing to lose when you're young. No kids. Yeah. You don't pay no current, no water, parents nothing doing all of that, nothing. You have no worry. So at that time, we don't got no peer pressure. Like now, you're getting peer pressure because you might have kids, apartment to pay, lighting, current, and everything. Like no, so yeah. But back then,
I just pressure.
Yeah, back then, you can't say we had any peer pressure because we was young and ready for anything.
You know what was peer pressure? Not really the people, but you know when you're young, wild and free, it's the adrenaline rush. That could be very intoxicating and it can be very addictive, the adrenaline rush. Because if you was basically just a kid on the stoop, sitting, doing what you normally do, but then you start to do things that you never do before, and you get a taste for that.
Yes.
That is it.
So like
it's like a drug.
For example, when you're trying to say like me, as a boy, always in my books, high grades in school, maybe the #1 prospect of the country of football, basketball. Just one day, one of my friends tell me, boy, let me go rob the Chinese over here. And I go and I get away. And I sitting down over here watching the police over there. What? I get away. By tomorrow, I'm going to go smash another one because I know I get away. And there's the adrenaline rush, what you talking about. And they end up knocking off 14, 15 supermarkets on a cool.
Money in your pocket.
And, money in your pocket. Yep. Like he said before, you start spending money, it coming fast, it going faster. So you know you have little girlfriends, you go in hotels and you're spending unnecessary money. You're buying this one clothes, you're buying that one clothes, and you weren't thinking let me buy some blocks, some cement or something to start building a little place.
Tomorrow, in that mind state, tomorrow didn't exist.
Tomorrow don't exist at all. We're just thinking for today.
Live for today. Without even knowing it, that's basically what we did. Live for the moment.
Yep.
In Sint Maarten, Inmates can be released from their detention conditionally with the usage of electronic monitoring, an ankle bracelet. EM is a multifunctional tool that has a strong impact in the field of crime prevention, the protection of victims, as well as rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders. By law, inmates can be eligible for conditional release after 2/3 of their sentence. In the process of granting conditional release or early conditional release, the behavior of an inmate during detention is an important factor. The ankle bracelet is a GPS tracker that monitors the movements of a former inmate. A curfew and a ban to visit certain locations are most often part of being released with an ankle bracelet. These conditions are integrated in the electronic monitoring software. How was it adjusting to life while incarcerated, both mentally and physically?
Physically, if you know you commit a crime and you put to yourself that, okay, I did it, or I've been falsely accused, or whatever the circumstances may be, if you don't put in your mind, by it look like I'm going home, I gonna have to do this like a man. If you don't put in your mind to do it like that, boy, they're gonna have to put you on suicide watch.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in a cell without sheets, shoestrings, belts, clothes, anything, because you might check, you might kill yourself. I experienced that plenty of times with people next to me.
That guy hang himself.
Yep.
Next morning they have to take you
Next morning,
dead.
funeral home, coming with a body bag to take him out of the cell and just watching through the hole.
Did you have suicidal thoughts?
Not really.
What kept you going and strong while incarcerated?
In prison, what kept us strong? Before he come, I was in a band. I was playing the drums. And being in a band, we had privileges, going outside, coming outside, playing for the church them outside. And mostly too, I was walking too. So while we walking, we used to come out, paint the government building, Carnival Village, clean the baseball fields, the sports fields. So mostly I wasn't really thinking about the prison, you know, because I was keeping myself busy and active all the time. If I did only sit down and don't look to get a job, then maybe I wouldn't be here still talking to you. I would have got maybe 60-70 years more added on. Don't go inside there and look to team up with nobody. You go in prison, look to get a job one time. You understand? Look to do something. If you can't get a job, try to join the church band. If you can't play a drum, you can pull a bass. If you can't pull a bass, you play guitar. If you can't play guitar, you can play keyboard. If you can't play none at all, you got someone there to teach you what you really want to learn. So, my opinion, when you go to prison, just try to be by yourself and find something constructive to do. If you don't, wow.
You're gonna waste it.
You're gonna live like you're in hell.
Miserable.
You'll be constantly getting in trouble, and people now gonna see, okay, I have the advantage over you. So he ain't walking, he ain't having this. So now I have a problem, I could pay you to deal with a problem for me. You understand? So
you to do anything.
I ain't gonna get in no problem, it's you gonna be getting in a problem. You understand?
Did you feel safe in prison?
Of course. I felt safer than anybody outside on the streets. Because
In the beginning, for me it was kind of different because that was the first time I was in there, so I didn't know what to expect. Like on the way going in, it's like, okay, what gonna happen inside here? Because we ain't in a police station no more. You're going in a big house now. You hear so much different things on the road about this place. Now you're going there to live. So you don't know what to expect going in. The first thing you reach inside in Central, you gotta ask you, where you from? You have any problems with anybody in the back there? I just reached here, I don't know anybody in the back there. Yeah. I know people that's locked up, yes, but I don't know where it is or what problems they have in the back there, so I don't know what to expect. And when you walk in, everybody start to make noise. Remember, you young now, you don't know what to expect, and all you're hearing is fresh meat, fresh meat. I don't know. But when you reach in now, you start to see a couple of faces that you know. So basically they put me in a section where people from my neighborhood was. So you start to feel a little at ease because you know for sure that nothing can really happen to you here. But then still, at the end of the day, it's prison. Anything could happen to you. Your own fellow inmate could throw on top of you.
So you have to be alert every day at every time.
Regardless of who you live with, always on your toes. And don't drop your guard either.
And there you don't wear no slippers, no.
Wear shoes.
24/7, you have to have your sneaker.
Hands up.
Bring up strap up. When you lock me, my says when I got on my slippers.
Go to the bathroom, go completely naked. And somebody running on top of you, get catch your boxers down, your legs can't move how you defend yourself.
Yeah, man.
That's an instant beat down.
I don't see people get catch in the bathroom showering already. Soap in the face. Turn the water red one time. Yeah.
In an effort to protect the welfare and prosperity of the community of Sint Maarten, the Ministry of Justice strives to uphold and enforce public order, safety, security, and the law. In a bid to discourage the youth from choosing a path of crime, as Minister of Justice, I find it imperative for the various perspectives of crime to be shared. HVB UNSCRIPTED shall bring awareness of how choices directly and indirectly affect everyone.